Welcome to the Inspired Podcast, Leading the Way in Education. I'm your host, Andrea de la Cerda, and each week I'm bringing you insightful discussions and news about changes in the landscape of education and entrepreneurship. As a 22-year entrepreneur, corporate executive, business coach, and leader, I mentor a community of change-making men and women to get out of their box, step into their true calling to make the biggest impact. I believe that increasing conflict in the world today is a sign of the need for systemic change and a call for the authentic feminine power and passion to make that happen. In today's episode, we're exploring the issue that affects all of us at one point or another: self-sabotage. What is it? Who does it? Why do we do it? And how do we learn to stop? Self-sabotage is defined as acting in a way that prevents you from accomplishing your goals. Have you ever found yourself procrastinating over the same types of responsibilities at work or at home? Many acts of self-sabotage stem from fear. Some common fears include fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being called out as an imposter, fear of change. Can you relate to any of these? In a great relationship, you might cheat, or maybe you wouldn't even enter into a relationship at all for the fear of failure. So sabotaging, just by breaking up at the drop of a hat or not even engaging in the first place, is something you might do. You might think, no way, not me. I'm 100% focused on moving my business, relationships, friendships, etc. forward. I don't get in my own way. But self-sabotage can be super small habits too, such as procrastination, ignoring warning signs from your mind or your body that you need a break, avoiding solving really simple roadblocks like deleting your voicemails because your voicemail box is full, or refilling your favorite moisturizer when it's empty. And these are things that I definitely procrastinate on. Complaining about other people's behavior or getting frustrated when your partner doesn't give you what you need, even though you didn't communicate to them. These are all some of the small daily actions that you might not even notice that are, in fact, holding you back. Other factors or beliefs can also lead to self-sabotage, such as past traumas, which might result in low self-esteem, perfectionism, negative self-talk, or seeking comfort in what's familiar. It can be a subconscious attempt to just avoid situations that remind you of past painful experiences. And if you're curious about actually how much of your actions are actually self-sabotaging, we found a really great quiz from Psychology Today. We've included a link in the episode notes for you to access if you're interested in just like digging in and learning more about the things that you're doing that might be holding you back. Self-sabotaging thoughts can be conscious or unconscious. And while it can be a coping mechanism to deal with stressful situations or past traumas, they really only make your problems worse. Sadly, I have no shortage of these examples in my own life. When I think back on my entrepreneurial journey, it really seems quite clear in hindsight when I look back, but I started my first business at 22, my second at 24, my third at 28, fourth at 32, and so on and so on. While I enjoyed activating my vision and implementing new ideas, I would get to a certain level and stop. I couldn't seem to imagine my success beyond just a certain level of income or a certain level of success. I would sabotage by just throwing in the towel completely sometimes, or at least dropping my expectations of myself. And for many people, succeeding can feel uncomfortable. But why? Why? Because it isn't aligning with your subconscious beliefs. Think about goals you have had for a long time but just haven't accomplished. Those New Year's resolutions that they just simply fall off the wayside come March 1st. Perhaps you've been wanting to lose that excess weight, maybe pay off that debt, finally find love, advance your career, achieve that degree that you've been wanting to achieve, or meet a specific revenue goal. And what I find most frustrating is that no matter how much my conscious thoughts want to prevent me from getting in my own way, my subconscious mind is doing exactly that. Another issue I struggle with that maybe you can relate to too is subconscious beliefs around money. This is a super common limiting belief for women, but really for anyone, because money is such a tricky topic for us. It can certainly bring out the best in us and the worst in us at times. But why is it so complicated? Much of what we believe about the world comes from those first 5 years of life. In the first 5 years of life, experiences and relationships stimulate children's development, creating millions of connections in their brains. Their brains develop connections faster in those first 5 years than at any other time in their lives. Think about what positive and negative messages you might have picked up from family members during these first 5 years. Some of the first lessons the brain learns are things like language, rules of social interaction, gross and fine motor skills, family dynamics, and even early beliefs around both gender roles and money. In terms of early beliefs that can have a long-term impact on your life, money really is a big one. This could be messages like, money is the root of all problems, others make a lot of money, but not us, not our family. Maybe I don't deserve it. I'll never really want to work that hard. Or more money, more problems. I mean, I could go on and on. Do any of these phrases resonate with you? Or perhaps you even remember some of these phrases told to you as a child. And another common transition many entrepreneurs tell me they have, which could be tied to money also, and I've experienced it too, is around that fear of being visible. It might generate thoughts like someone might call me out or think I'm wrong about something, or I won't have anything to say that others aren't already saying. And the thing about self-sabotage is that it is super sneaky and often not even detectable by our own conscious thoughts. But it can cause great damage in our lives and hold us back from future opportunities. A subconscious need to feel invisible could lead to infrequent social media interactions. And if you have a business, it could mean just an inadequate online presence, minimal marketing and sales, and all because your brain thinks being visible is dangerous. So it's trying to protect you. A colleague of mine recently shared with me her fears around working too hard. She is a breast cancer survivor, and she's now adamant about managing her own health. But she admitted that she's terrified of experiencing burnout because she's so scared that her cancer will come back. And although her thought pattern makes sense to her, her inaction is what was really holding her back, all because of her fear. And sometimes these fears may seem really logical in our minds, and sometimes we can clearly see that they're not. So let's talk about some strategies to avoid these thoughts and behaviors. Start by focusing on self-awareness and reflection to identify and challenge negative beliefs and triggers. So regular journaling and meditation has really helped me identify the times I'm getting in my own way. A short daily prompt can bring up thoughts that you didn't realize were there. I really recommend the Day One Journal app. It can help you get your feelings either on paper or right there on your phone. And another strategy is to set clear, achievable goals and track your progress to help maintain focus and motivation. Building a strong support system through mentorship and networking provides both guidance and accountability. This is really important because you can create all of the clear, achievable goals you want to, but if not accountable to those goals, you can easily get in your own way. I have an accountability partner who I meet with twice a week to help hold me accountable and discourage me from getting in my own way. She will call me on it if she sees that I am. If you have someone who can hold you accountable in your business, think of who you know that is rooting for you already and can be really honest when you're dodging your goals and responsibilities. And then next, make sure you're prioritizing self-care, managing your stress, and developing effective time management skills so you can maintain balance and productivity. Cultivating a growth mindset, confronting your fears, and establishing really healthy boundaries also further support personal and professional growth, and it can keep you from self-sabotaging. And by adopting these practices, you can overcome these behaviors and pave your way for more success. I've had a lot of success with various modalities to address these subconscious beliefs like NLP, which stands for neuro-linguistic programming, EFT or tapping, hypnosis, and talk therapy. And if you're curious to know more about these modalities, we've included links to a couple of my favorite practitioners in the episode notes. And one of my favorite books that addresses this issue head on is The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. The Big Leap explores how we can break through what he calls upper limits to achieve our full potential. I really recommend reading it if you haven't already. He provides some really good strategies for overcoming our limiting beliefs that can lead to self-sabotage. And he offers actionable advice on how to just embrace new opportunities, overcome fears, and make just big leaps toward personal and professional growth. I 100% recommend it. I've included a link also in the episode notes. So today we dove deep into the phenomenon of self-sabotage, what it is, why it happens, and most importantly, how to overcome it. From procrastination and perfectionism to fears and limiting beliefs, we've explored how these patterns can quietly hold us back. Remember that understanding these behaviors is just the first step toward breaking free. Implementing strategies like self-awareness, setting clear goals, building a support system, and prioritizing self-care can really make all the difference. As we wrap up, I encourage you again, check out The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks for more insights on overcoming your upper limits. And let's keep pushing through barriers and stepping into our full potential. Until next time, keep leading with purpose and passion. And that's all I have for you today. And thank you so much for tuning in. Let's continue to support each other in our paths toward empowerment, entrepreneurship, and personal success, whatever that looks like for you. Tune in next week for another new episode. Thank you so much. Take care.